Hi and welcome along to the last transfer daily of the summer. This is it. This is D-Day, deadline day. After today, 11 o'clock tonight, that's it. There's no more transfer rumours. That is it. Whoever we get today is who we're going to have to roll with for the rest of the season, or should I say up until January. And as we saw yesterday by that game against Leicester City, it is pretty obvious that we need a striker. Yaya Sanogo, pretty poor in front of goal. If we had a clinical, world-class striker, we would have won that game. And it showed up. And what has been so far pretty good window by Arsenal. We signed some very good players. Alexis Sanchez, who scored a vital goal during the week and again yesterday. Callum Chambers has been a revelation. Debuchy has fitted in brilliantly. We haven't even really missed Sanya so far. And David Ospina, who we haven't seen yet, but we know he's a top-class goalkeeper, Colombian international. But now he's in danger, the transfer window, of ending in very poor fashion by Arsenal and Arsene Wenger. It seems like we're in a bit of a rush, a bit of a panic. You heard the fans yesterday. If you didn't hear it on TV, I don't know. I haven't watched it back on TV, but at the game, it was pretty vocal. All the fans singing, "Spend some money, buy a effing striker" was the word. I've got to keep it clean here this morning. And we need now. We've got 3 positions that we need to fill today. For me, for it to be a successful transfer window. First of all, striker. We need a world-class striker. Targets are running out. We saw Loic Remy yesterday. He's gone to Chelsea. And again, indecisiveness by Arsenal. We didn't get Remy. We were linked with him right at the start of the summer. It was said that a deal was in place. Then we went cold on it. And then to come in for him right at the end, nah, Remy probably thought to himself, no way I'm going to Chelsea. And now we're left in a bad situation. We need a proper world-class striker. But who's out there? Well, the player that's out there at the moment is Falcao. It's been said that £55 million will be able to purchase him. And that doesn't include his wages, by the way. And he's on some high wages at the moment at Monaco. But £55 million. Is Arsene Wenger willing to spend that amount? And you know, it would be a world record bid. It'd be an amazing signing. But is Arsene Wenger prepared to go that extra mile to bring in a world-class striker who would no doubt in the team with Alexis Sanchez, Walcott, Ramsey, Ozil? It would give us all of a sudden an amazing team that everybody around Europe would be scared of. But is Arsene Wenger willing to push the boat out to make this deal happen? Monaco are willing to sell. They've offered him to Manchester City, to Manchester United, and to Arsenal. We've just got to come up with the cash, which we know we've got. We can afford to make it happen. Manchester City, they're saying for them to make it happen, they're going to have to offload players because they've already reached their limit on financial fair play. So it's all down to Arsenal, Arsene Wenger, Stan Kroenke's in the country, Ivan Gazidis. Are they willing to push the boat out to bring in this really magical world-class striker? I think it'd be worthwhile. They'll sell the amount of shirts they'd sell alone. The amount of profile it would give to Arsenal around the world. It would be a major deal, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I can see that happening today. Although, let's remember, last season they did pull the Ozil thing out of the bag, but I just can't see this one happening, to be honest. More realistically is another Colombian player that we've been linked with, Carlos Bacca, plays for Sevilla, 27 years of age, Colombian international. He's available for about £12.5 million. He scored 21 goals last year in 51 games. And Arsenal are reportedly very interested in bringing Carlos Bacca in at Arsenal. There's also Wilfred Boney, who's at Swansea. We know we've been told that £20 million will be enough to bring Boney into Arsenal. But again, Boney's not world class. He's a very, very good striker, but he would fill in brilliantly for Giroud at the moment, who's missing until the new year, remember. So we are really, really short in that striker position. Defenders, remember we need a defender, a centre-back. We're lacking. When Koscielny went off yesterday, all right, Chambers came on, but remember, Chambers is sort of filling in at centre back. He came in as a right back. Now, we've been linked with Nastasic from Manchester City. They're keen to offload him. They're keen to sell him, bring some money in to help them with their financial fair play. He's available, but as of yet, Arsenal have not made a bid. Apparently, Arsenal and Spurs have made inquiries about Nastasic, but nobody's made a bid for him, so something could happen on that today. And then there's Socrates, the Dortmund player, who we were very interested in. Again, things have gone a little bit cold. It seems like his deal is fading slightly. We're going to have to wait and see what happens with that one today. But Socrates, the Borussia Dortmund Greek defender, Arsenal still interested in bringing him in. And then, don't forget, the holding midfielder position, which we need to fill. Adrien Rabiot is a player that's been talked about a lot over the past few days, 19-year-old. More of a box-to-box midfielder, but apparently Arsene Wenger sees him as a player, could also play as a holding midfielder, very tall, powerful player, very skillful as well. Apparently, the reports are that Arsenal have made a £12 million bid, and that's been accepted by PSG, but it's up to the player to decide where he's going to move to. There's rumours that he's got loads of options, and he's deciding where he's going to go and play because he wants to play a lot of first-team football, and that's not going to be guaranteed at Arsenal with such a strong midfield. So Rabiot, again, that's another one in the balance at the moment. We don't know whether that's going to happen or not. Interestingly, a player that was linked today, which would be a brilliant signing, but again, I'm not sure if I could see this one happening. It was been mentioned by L'Equipe, that French newspaper. They say that Arsenal have made a bid, £28 million bid for Blaise Matuidi. They reckon that will be maybe enough to prize him away from PSG. I'm really surprised at that because he seemed to be quite an important player for PSG last season, but he was left out of the PSG game yesterday against Saint Etienne. And it said that Arsenal is very, very, very interested in bringing him in. Whether that's going to happen, we're going to have to wait and see. And Marco Reus, now that's been mentioned right throughout the summer. Again, I don't think this is a deal that's going to happen, but there are media outlets that are saying that Arsenal may be prepared to go in with a last-minute £28 million bid to try and bring in Reus, with Podolski going out. Again, that's all speculation. We don't know if that's going to happen, but that would be a brilliant signing. But again, I just can't see that happening, especially in this transfer window. And a couple of players that have been linked with moves out. Podolski's still being linked with moves away. I was very, very surprised that it was left till so late for him to come on yesterday. It really does appear like the manager doesn't fancy him. So could Podolski be leaving? Joel Campbell's been linked with a move away to Benfica. That's been going on for days. And a lot of outlets saying that, say, if Arsenal were to sign Falcao, Joel Campbell will go out on loan to Benfica. And Ignacy Miguel, young defender, who plays for Arsenal at the moment, looks like he's going to be signing today for Norwich City. So lots of things happening today, but everybody's going to be keen to see what happens. Striker, defensive midfielder, centre-back. It really does look like we've left it all to the last minute. Arsene Wenger said yesterday he's going to be very active today, and today could really define Arsenal's season. How serious are we about winning the Premier League, about winning the Champions League, about winning things this season? How serious are we? Are we ruthlessly serious about winning these things? That is what we're going to find out by what happens in the transfer market. As I said last year, he brought in Ozil. That was a major signing. That was a major coup. It was unexpected. But then we've also seen other windows when we've needed players, we've needed strikers, like the January transfer window where we were crying out for a striker and a defensive midfielder, and nothing happened. We brought in Kim Kallstrom. So it's really going to be interesting to see what happens today is really going to define Arsenal's season, especially after that poor performance against Leicester yesterday. Running through a few of your comments are going absolutely crazy. I don't even know if I can keep up with them the way they're bouncing off my screen at the moment. Zilt says Sonogo, Rio out on a 2-year loan. Coughlin and Podolski will go out as well. That's what he's thinking. Daniel Hicks says, I really hope that Arsenal signs someone. Falcao would be a dream, but signing, but much cheaper and used in the league would be Boney. That would be my choice. I'm fed up of this cheap stuff. We're Arsenal Football Club. We've got loads of money. Why don't we just go out there and make it happen? If we need Falcao, if we feel Arsene Wenger feels that Falcao is available, we've got the money to make that happen, then make it happen. Let's be serious. A-League HD said, if you're bringing on subs in the 75th minute, you might as well bring nobody on. That he's referring to yesterday against Leicester. I agree with that. I couldn't understand that. DWI says we should get Munian. He's a great striker. AFC of NYC says Matuidi would be so much better than Carvalho. Please let it happen. Things have kind of gone a bit quiet on the whole Carvalho thing. Carvalho yesterday quoting that he's happy to stay at Lisbon. I'm not sure about that. He's on £5 a week. He'd love to come to Arsenal. It's whether Arsenal are willing to stump up the money to bring him in. Again, it's all down to the money. Dominic Fruigua says, I'll chip in for Falcao's wages. Just get the flipping striker. If you can chip in for his wages, mate, you must be a very rich man because his wages are very, very high. Cameron Morris says Matuidi would be great in my opinion. Yaz says, after all this talk, nothing happens. So you could be right, mate. You could be right. We're going to have to wait and see. Who else we got here? There's just so many of you guys coming on today. Callum saying Matuidi would be awesome. Zilt said, what about Aga? But Aga's gone to Brøndby. Why don't we get Ibrahimovic, says Joseph Beacock. Zero Gravity says Royce would be perfect. Listen, there's just so many of you saying all these targets. We're going to find out what happens today. It's all down to today, and we will find out exactly who Arsenal sign, who Arsene Wenger goes out there and sign. Keep those comments coming in. Don't forget to subscribe to Arsenal Fan TV. Don't forget, throughout the day today, we'll be keeping you completely updated with all the Arsenal transfer news. Later on today, we're going to be down at the Emirates Stadium, catching up with fans, finding out if who's come in and commenting on them, getting all the latest updates live from the Emirates Stadium, and then we'll be doing a special roundup show from the Emirates Stadium afterwards, letting you know exactly who's come in and who's gone out. But it's a big, big, big day for Arsene Wenger, for Ivan Gazidis, for Stan Kroenke, and for Arsenal. Let's make the right signings. Let's be serious about doing something this summer and this season. This today is a major day. I'd say of all the top teams in the Premier League, the biggest day in the transfer market is for Arsenal today. We're the team that needs the most players in. All the other teams seem to have done most of their business. It's Arsenal who need to make some massive signings today.